Good morning, cowboys. This is your principal, Mr. Curlee, and I want to share a little something for you to chew on this Wednesday morning. You ever bumped into the same person 3 times in one day? Not a coincidence. Ever keep seeing the same folks in the same places at the same time? That's not fate, that's a pattern. And patterns, well, they tend to mean something. Now, I'm not here to tell you what it means. That's for you to figure out. But I will tell you this. Edna High has a way of noticing things. And once people notice, they don't tend to forget. So keep your eyes open, pay attention, and maybe, just maybe, you'll see the story before it becomes tomorrow's chatter and learn about Rule 4. There's no such thing as coincidence. Let's get to class and make it a great day.
Wednesday, September 10th, 1986. Ain't that a coincidence? The before-school hallways were filled with the usual teen chatter for a Wednesday, but today's conversations had an extra edge. Yesterday's teacher conspiracy panic had melted into mild embarrassment after everyone discovered Mrs. Evans and Mrs. Sanderson had simply been planning the principal's surprise birthday party. Sarah Mitchell twisted her navy scrunchie while Eric Schmidt leaned back against the senior bench, sipping the last of his morning Dr. Pepper. Jerry Martinez paced in front of them, stopping occasionally to scan the morning crowd. 3 minutes till first bell, Eric said. Where's Jack? And where's Amber? Sarah glanced toward the main entrance. They're never late. Jerry shrugged. Maybe they're... Sarah followed his gaze toward the front doors where Jack Stewart and Amber Brown walked in together. They wore matching navy blue shirts. Jack said something that made Amber laugh, and she play-punched his arm. Sarah leaned forward. Did she just smile? Same color shirts, y'all, Jerry said. That ain't no accident. Eric straightened. When two people show up together like that, they're dating. No such thing as coincidence. The warning bell rang. Students scattered toward first-period classrooms, but Sarah couldn't tear her eyes away from Jack and Amber, still walking together and talking like it was the most natural thing in the world. After first period, the bench filled quickly. Eric and Sarah arrived first, then Jerry. Vanessa Foster dropped her backpack with a dramatic sigh. I swear Mrs. Evans was laughing about yesterday in class, Vanessa complained. She acted like it was so ridiculous anyone would think they were planning anything but a birthday party. Well, you did kind of start a school-wide panic, Eric pointed out. I know what I heard, Vanessa insisted. It's not my fault they were being all cryptic about cake and decorations. Speaking of things we might have misinterpreted, Sarah nodded toward the hallway. Up walked Amber and Jack together. Again, Jack said something to Amber, who nodded and checked her watch. Without acknowledging the bench crew, they continued past and disappeared around the corner. No one spoke. Vanessa leaned in. Second time. That ain't coincidence. Eric just raised his eyebrows. Jerry started grinning. You don't think... Sarah started. Oh, I think... Vanessa nodded emphatically. But Amber and Jack? Eric shook his head. That's like mixing oil and water. Or gasoline and a match, Jerry added. The bell for second period cut their speculation short. As they gathered their things, Sarah noticed Vanessa scribbling something in her notebook. What's that? Vanessa snapped the notebook shut. Nothing. Just some observations. Later after third period, Sarah hurried to the bench, eager to compare notes with the others. Eric was already there, but no Jack or Amber. Sarah shook her head. Maybe they're avoiding us. Vanessa joined them, dropping dramatically onto the bench. Y'all, Amber wasn't in third period English. Empty seat, no explanation. Weird, Sarah said. She never misses. Matt walked past with Rebecca Sanders. Hey, Garrett, Eric called out. You seen Jack today? Matt stopped. Yeah, this morning. Why? We hadn't seen him since second period. He's always here. Oh, Matt shrugged. I think he signed out during third. Said something about an appointment. Thanks, Eric nodded. Matt continued down the hall. Both? Sarah raised her eyebrows as she continued to watch Matt and Beck. At the same time? Eric added. Jerry slid onto the bench. Plot thickens, y'all. Maybe they signed out for lunch early, Sarah suggested. Vanessa shook her head. With what car? Jack's car wasn't here this morning, and Amber's car is still in the parking lot. I checked. They've either eloped or we're all being punked, Jerry said. Eric laughed. Check the attendance office. They probably signed out under Jamber. Jamber, Sarah asked. Eric smiled. Jack and Amber. Celebrity couple name. Oh my God, they are totally a thing, Vanessa declared. No two people just happen to be absent from the same period. Maybe they're sneaking off to make out, Jerry suggested, wiggling his eyebrows. Or they both got food poisoning from breakfast, Sarah offered. They have been weird lately, Eric said. Well, weirder than normal. The warning bell rang for fourth period. Sarah pulled out her notebook and wrote something quick. What's that? Vanessa tried to peek. Sarah closed her notebook. Just some chemistry notes. Sure, Vanessa smirked. Chemistry. As they gathered their things and headed toward the hallway, Sarah stood up quickly and turned toward her class. She bumped directly into a sophomore girl walking by. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie, Sarah said, steadying herself. It's okay, the girl replied softly, clutching her notebook. I like your notebook. Those are some pretty flowers, Sarah added with a quick smile before continuing toward class. The girl nodded and hurried away in the opposite direction. After lunch, the conversation kept circling back to Amber and Jack. I still can't believe they'd hook up, Eric said through a mouthful of onion rings. She's always calling him an immature junior. And he's always making fun of her for being so stuck up, Sarah added. That's how all the best romances start, Jerry said, adopting a movie announcer voice. She was a senior queen bee. He was a junior class clown. Together, they defied the social order. Stop, Sarah laughed, throwing a fry at him. Vanessa stirred her strawberry shake with her straw. You know what's weird? Jack's truck was in the parking lot when we got back from lunch. Wait, I thought someone said it broke down or something. Sarah frowned. Exactly, Vanessa nodded. Something's definitely up. The warning bell rang to go to fifth period. Jack and Amber were still nowhere to be found. This is getting serious, Vanessa said. Both missing lunch too? Maybe they went somewhere else for lunch, Sarah suggested. Oh my God, Eric grabbed her arm. Look. Coming down the hallway were Jack and Amber, each holding a Sonic cup. They went to Sonic too? Sarah whispered. Matching drinks? Eric shook his head. That's basically a promposal. Vanessa rushed up beside them. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Yep, Eric nodded. Jerry joined them. We're calling it. They're official. Around here, there's no such thing as coincidence, Vanessa said with finality. Amber and Jack walked past them without a glance, heading in different directions toward their next classes. And now they're pretending they don't even know each other, Eric observed. Classic. Jerry nodded. Hiding it just makes it more obvious. When the bell rang ending fifth period, Sarah practically ran to the bench, curious to see if Jack and Amber would show up. They arrived to find Jack and Amber already at the bench, sitting at opposite ends, not speaking. Jack stared at his history book while Amber flipped through her notebook. Everyone exchanged glances, approaching cautiously. Sandra Robertson joined them, her auburn hair bouncing as she hurried over. Y'all, I just heard the juiciest thing in the office. What now? Sarah asked, stealing a glance at Amber, who didn't look up. I was filing attendance slips, and Mrs. Nestor was talking to the counselor about Matt and Beck. The group leaned in. Even Jack looked up from his book. She was saying how Matt was totally flirting with Beck while helping her with chemistry, And how cute they looked together. Matt and Beck? Sarah asked. I thought he was seeing Jenny. That boy's got more options than the Dairy Queen menu, Jerry laughed. Wait, chemistry tutorin'? Eric asked. Since when does Matt need help with anything? He doesn't, Sandra explained. He's helping her. Mrs. Nestor was going on about what a perfect match they make. The chemistry whiz meets cheerleader. Beck's a cheerleader? Vanessa frowned. I thought she was in band. No, that's Beth with the clarinet, Sarah corrected. Beck's the one with the blonde highlights. She's in journalism. She was with Matt when they came by before fourth period. Hold up, Jack interrupted. Matt's helping a cheerleader with chemistry? Man's playing a dangerous game with Ella still in the picture. Sarah's cheeks flushed pink. Everyone glanced at her, remembering the camper incident at Bobby's party. Silence fell as everyone's attention shifted back to Jack and Amber sitting on opposite sides of the bench. Eric broke it, gesturing between them. Speaking of things, why ain't y'all sitting together? Aren't you two dating now? Jack scoffed. Dating? Her? I'd rather date my truck's exhaust pipe. Amber rolled her eyes. Please, I have standards, and they don't include cowboys who smell like beef jerky and poor decisions. Vanessa crossed her arms. And yet, here you both are again, together. Jack ran a hand through his hair. My car broke down this morning. She just gave me a ride. In matching shirts? Sarah pointed out. Amber sighed. It's navy blue. Half the school wears navy blue. Y'all were both gone after third period, Jerry said. Jack shifted in his seat. I had a dentist appointment. In the middle of the school day? Eric asked. Since when do you skip class for teeth? Jack shrugged. Had a toothache since Monday. Couldn't wait. Amber didn't look up from her notebook. I had to pick up my mom's prescription. Your mom couldn't pick up her own medicine? Vanessa raised an eyebrow. She's got that thing with her ankle, Amber replied quickly. Besides, Mrs. Nestor in the office likes me. She'll sign off on anything if you say it's family. Eric leaned forward. So, you both just happened to sign out after third period? Together? At the same time? Amber glared. It was a coincidence. Vanessa smirked. Around here, there's no such thing as coincidence. Sarah crossed her arms. And the Sonic Cups? Jack and Amber spoke simultaneously. I got mine on the way back. They looked at each other, startled. Jerry clapped his hands. See, y'all are even finishing each other's sentences now. Jack glared. Shut up, Martinez. Amber nodded. What he said. Eric's eyes widened. Whoa, agreeing too? This is getting serious. Jerry started humming the wedding march. Amber threw her pen at him. Grow up. Amber stood up. Y'all are ridiculous. I wouldn't date him if he was the last boy in Texas. Jack grinned. I mean, if you were the last girl, Amber, I'd be more than obliged to. Amber's cheeks flushed pink. Shut up, Jack. Eric laughed. First names to last names. That's how all the best romances start. Vanessa nodded. Romeo and Juliet. Jerry started singing. Amber and Jack, sitting in a tree. Both Jack and Amber stood up simultaneously. Jack grabbed his backpack. I gotta get to next class. Amber snatched her notebook. I've got literally anywhere else to be. They walked off in opposite directions as the warning bell rang. Vanessa waited until they were gone. $20 says they meet up behind the gym. Eric shook his head as he was leaving. No bet, that's a sure thing. The final bell rang to end school. Students flooded toward the parking lot, eager to escape the confines of Edna High for another day. Amber stood by her locker, spiral notebook open one last time. Her pen moved quickly. Me and Jack equals question mark, question mark, question mark. Arrived together 3 times. Both missed third. Sonic cups. Bench silence tension. No such thing as coincidence. She underlined coincidence twice. I'm losing my damn mind, she muttered. On the next page, she jotted down more notes. Teacher attack equals principal's birthday. Matt plus Beck equals chemistry tutoring question mark. Sarah has to be hiding something about Matt plus Ella. She stared at the Jack page one more time before snapping the notebook shut. Whatever was happening, she needed to get it under control. Fast. As she walked toward her car, she spotted Jack leaning against the hood, tossing his keys up and catching them. Need a ride? She asked without stopping. He fell into step beside her. Thought you'd never ask.
On the next episode of Tales Beyond the Goalposts, everyone's being too nice, and that just feels a little shady. Matt's suddenly holding doors, Vanessa's handing out cookies, and even Coach Stevens is flashing smiles in the hallway. At Edna High, that's not kindness. It's a sign something's brewing.
Y'all, you will not believe what I saw at Pizza Hut Friday night after the bowling game, Amber announces, dropping onto the bench. Eric closes his textbook. This better be good. I have a quiz first period. It's about Matt, Amber says, leaning forward. Jerry perks up instantly. Well, now that changes things. Morning, everyone. Vanessa approaches with a bright smile, holding out a small container. Want a snickerdoodle, Eric? Eric reaches for a cookie, then hesitates. Wait, what's the catch? No catch, Vanessa insists. I just felt like bacon. Amber narrows her eyes suspiciously. You never just bake. What's this for? Maybe I'm just being nice for once. Exactly. Eric takes a cautious bite. Suspicious as hell.
In a school where every action has a motive, Rule 5 is simple. No one's that friendly without a reason. See you in the next episode. Thanks for stopping by the bench today. You saw it. Matching shirts, Sonic cups, and more sideways glances than a Friday night at Dairy Queen. Everybody always thinks they've got the story figured out. Truth is, the bench only catches part of it. Because while Jack and Amber are stealing the spotlight, there's always other stories brewing under the radar. Matt's got moves nobody's talking about, Sarah's holding on to something that'd make your jaw drop, and the real action. It's happening in places the hallway crowd never sees. That's why my novel, Beyond the Goalposts, exists, and that's exactly where you can see the chemistry tutoring session Mrs. Nestor saw over in Chapter 6. It's not the gossip, it's what actually went down, the stuff you'll never hear in a morning announcement. I appreciate you listening. See you back here for the next episode. But don't get too comfortable. Around here, the next story's already halfway to your ears. Class dismissed.